As always, Will Wheaton knows exactly what to say.
When you were a kid, were you called a nerd, and if so, how did you deal with it?
When I was a little boy, I was called a nerd all the time because I didn't like sports. I loved to read. I liked math and science. I thought school was really cool. And it hurt a lot because it's never okay when a person makes fun of you for something like you didn't choose. You know, we don't choose to be nerds. We can't help it that we like these things, and we shouldn't apologize for liking these things. I wish that I could tell you that there's a really easy way to just not care, but the truth is it hurts. But here's the thing that you might be able to understand. As a matter of fact, I'm confident you'll be able to understand this because you asked this question. When a person makes fun of you, when a person is cruel to you, it has nothing to do with you. It's not about what you said. It's not about what you did. It's not about what you love. It's about them feeling bad about themselves. They feel sad. They don't get positive attention from their parents. They don't feel as smart as you. They don't understand the things that you understand. Maybe one of their parents is really pushing them to be a cheerleader or a baseball player or an engineer or something that they just don't want to do. So they take that out on you because they can't go and be mean to the person who's actually hurting them. So when a person is cruel to you like that, I know that this is hard, but honestly, the kind and best reaction is to pity them. And don't let them make you feel bad because you love them. Maybe find out what they love and talk about how they love it. I bet you find out that a person who loves tetherball exactly the same way that you love Dr. Who. But you just love different things. And I will tell you this, it absolutely gets better as you get older. And I know it's really hard when you're in school and you're surrounded by the same 400 people a day that pick on you and make you feel bad about yourself. But there's 50,000 people here this weekend who went through the exact same thing, and we're all doing really well. Don't you ever let a person make you feel bad because you love something they decided is only for nerds. Your loving thing is for you. Thanks for your time.
That's all that needs to be said right there, boy.
That's right. This is SCNS Live. Hi everyone, welcome to SCNS Live.
Woo!
That's
Yeah!
Hey!
We're back!
Hey!
Another show?
Right.
Episode 10.
Tonight on our show we got Matt.
How's it going, everybody? Matt Happer! Lama!
We also got Jason, the X.
I'm invincible!
You're not.
I'm invincible.
Animal
Ignore him,
invincible!
ignore him. We also got the DJ
Chris
Christian.
Cake.
Thank you. Thank
She forgot who he was.
Apparently,
Apparently.
animals creeping into her mind. I'm in your mind!
Stay out of my mind. Anyways, I'd like to say one thing before we start off.
Ah, yeah.
Here in North Texas, we are under a tornado warning. Or no, I'm sorry, we're under a tornado watch right now. We're not under the warning yet.
Watch, yeah.
We're in the watch.
So,
We
The
got
world is ending! The world is ending!
yeah, let's not
Yeah.
just run around screaming, oh shit, we're going to die.
I didn't
Yeah,
say that.
please.
I did.
But if we have to cancel the show for any reason, or if you see us freaking out for some reason, that is exactly why. Just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, don't worry about us, because we're still doing a live show for you guys.
Yes, in a
To
tornado.
hell with a tornado.
Don't ever.
Tornado can.
No. Oh God, I didn't really need to see that. Okay, you know what? I have a great idea. I think we should go to our news.
All
Let's go to
right.
our news. SCNN. Let's go to that. Can we do that? Can we?
I'll make the noise.
Duh.
It's over. Moment's over.
Okay, there we go.
Duh.
It did. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Chris is
so,
destroying this.
We-
It's okay.
We all know that archaeology is fantastic. And just by looking at old bones and using cool sciencey things, we can learn all kinds of stuff about everything. Well, some scientists in Britain have taken that a little bit farther. They unearthed a skeleton they unearthed like 20 skeletons from a plague cemetery while they were building the new rail line for Britain.
Well, like the plague, the Black Plague.
The Black Plague, the bubonic plague.
That's around that one.
They took just a molar from one of the skeletons, and this is what they were able to deduce just from the one molar. Let's see. They were able to decide or find out that he was breastfed, that he lived in another part of England before moving to London, that he was a labor worker because he was a laborer, and he died early in his adulthood from the bubonic plague in the 14th century.
Plague?
Plague. From the plague.
From the plagiarism of the bubonic.
Exactly. But they determined that from just his tooth, one tooth.
That's crazy.
That's actually pretty freaking cool considering how old that tooth is.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so they've decided to do an experiment. They've taken one tooth from each of the skeletons that they found, and they're going to do more tests just like that one. They've also found that they found more skeletons under it. So it's like this was a designated plague cemetery, basically. It's like, here's where we're going to lay all the plague victims, right here. Years later, we're going to do it again. They've been able to find them from the original outbreak, and then from the other two outbreaks that came later. And they've taken little teeth from all of them, and they're going to run the same kind of test and see what they can deduce.
So is this actually is it actually still the bubonic plague? I remember I read something that said that it might actually disprove that it was the bubonic plague, that that's what the Black Death was.
Yes, that it could be. I mean, we've been able to, my words are weird today.
Deduce?
Yeah, deduce.
Okay.
Oh yes, also in the tooth, to prove that he died from the bubonic plague, they found the chemicals. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with it? They found the germs, virus.
Ah, the virus.
Yes.
Okay.
They were able to find the remains of it in his tooth.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're going to do that with all of the bones and see if they have the same thing.
Science.
I know.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Cora, I had your brain right here. Let me just.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
Probably
you.
that damn green bow she's got on. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I have green in my bow.
That's me. Anyway.
Hey, but at least you can see the pink part.
All right, so
Jason, yes, you have a story for us,
okay,
right?
yeah,
And it's relevant for this week.
It is relevant because some of us have already seen Captain America 2. We'll
Yeah.
be talking about that later.
Hell yeah.
However, we need to be looking towards the future because Avengers 2 is filming right now. And, of course, we saw a new costume for Cap in Captain America 2. Well, guess what? He's getting a new one in Avengers 2, and there it is. Now, I kind of dig this, actually. What do you guys think about this? I don't like the brown gloves, but he had those in his original costume in Captain America 1. But I am kind of digging this. It almost has kind of a Marvel Now look and would still keep some elements from the movie. What do you guys think?
I like it. I like that it looks still like the costume from the first movie with the stripes on the stomach and then the blue right here. And I actually kind of like the armbands, except I would like them more if they covered his whole hand. It looks like they don't.
Yeah, the fingerless gloves, it's very 80s. But
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of want me to go into fashionista Ted, Ted Gunn mode, where it's like, I actually think that it looks rather nice. Show the picture up again, Chris. Go back to Jason. We're going to do that. Okay, look at it. I like the star. It's right there in the middle, and it really symbolizes patriotism. You see the red, white, and the blue, and you look at you think of the flag. I really like the wings on the side of the head, but the brown with blue, so 2 years ago, not a fan.
anyway,
But
Okay. But regardless, yeah, it does. I do like how it's armored almost. I think it looks good with, especially Avengers 2 is like filming right now. So
it
Yeah.
actually does look pretty cool. I watched, like, there was a fan made video where they were actually in Korea and
it
they were
was the stunt
shooting.
actor.
I'm sorry.
The stunt actor.
Yeah, they showed him on top of a pretty much an 18-wheeler, and they're just showing him going down South Korea, like in like this highway, and he's holding on, and you're like,
And unfortunately, if you have not
So
seen
cool.
that video already, YouTube was hit by Disney, and they took that video down. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
darn.
so that's why we're describing it for you. But anyway,
yeah, it was really cool, and actually, and we're not gonna show it today. You know, it's already passed. It's been a week, but Joss Whedon actually sent out a YouTube video
Oh, yeah, that's right.
saying,
Oh.
hey,
Yeah.
South Korea, sorry, we're destroying your place. But it's for a good cause. So,
But moving into that, we got obsessed with something this week.
that's right. As you guys all know, April 1st is April Fool's Day, and Google decided that they were going to do something rather fun with their April Fool's Day prank. They decided they were going to actually create a Pokemon catch contest.
Oh God!
It was
Now,
the coolest thing ever.
If you saw the video, you saw that basically one of the, I think it was the president of Google, he said basically, hey, you know, whoever catches all of them, we're going to make this big tournament to try and bring one of you guys into Google to be one of our new guys, be one of our new employees. Obviously, that was a prank, but what wasn't the prank was the fact that if you went onto Google Maps, only until April 2nd, so unfortunately it's over now.
Actually, I still got Pokeballs showing up on mine.
Well, you've already caught them. But I
Oh,
think, like, if you want to catch them, I don't think you can anymore. But, or if you can, great, go for it. Keep doing it. But it's basically in different parts of the world, different landmarks, different areas, you saw little tiny Pokemon that you could actually click on and catch. 150 different species, to be exact. So,
Well, okay, one thing on that,
what?
because I thought it was part of the April Fool's Day hoax, but did you find Mew?
I did not find
I couldn't find Mew either. I actually had a friend, our friend the Otaku MILF. She sent me a message, and I wasn't paying attention to my phone. Gave me coordinates for Mew, but I was too late. It was moving around.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So if you got Mew, it said Pokédex complete. So
Oh, man.
so it did exist. There was a lot of people. Oh, that's part of the April Fools. No, he did exist.
Yeah, and I mean, that was so cool.
We got pretty obsessed with it.
But it makes you think about something, and we did actually do kind of a little April Fool's Day joke, if you guys were paying attention to our site, our Facebook, as well as Cinelinks.com. You saw that we were saying that Nintendo was bought out by Disney and all this other stuff. But it brought to you the question of, what if Nintendo got bought out by Google? Because you've got Pokemon that's all over the Google Maps. I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of a cool little idea if they actually were. What do you guys think?
What, as far as Nintendo, Google acquiring Nintendo?
Yeah.
No,
You don't like that?
I don't want it to happen. Nope,
No.
too much power.
Too much power.
Yeah.
And now you look at Disney having Star Wars and Marvel.
At the end of the day, though, we owned it all. Did you read Eric?
I did. I read the last one.
Eric Gibbs, the Father Gamer, wrote that up. And I think at the end of it, he was like, Jordan was going to do some stuff with Star Wars. I wanted a Transformers theme park. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Father Gamer, for putting that together because it was awesome.
It was hilarious. Now, you actually, going back to the Pokemon story, you actually got 150.
Oh, yeah, I got 150. I
Yeah.
think I still... Go ahead and keep going.
I didn't get that far because I was at work, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I've got so much work to do. And I'm like, Coliseum. Oh, Sydney's got a lot of them. Oh, yeah, catch. I only got to 65, unfortunately. But Linda, she got quite a few. I'm sure when she hears this, she'll say on the chat, and then we'll just yell out a random number in the middle of the broadcast. Did you play at all?
I couldn't. I had to work on a project because I had to present
I can still view my Pokédex.
stuff
Wait a minute.
that day, so I had to work on that project.
Aw.
See,
didn't get
I
to
can still
play.
view my Pokédex.
Yeah, show it. That means he got 150.
I couldn't find Mew.
Yeah, well, it happens.
'Cause I put it on my Facebook. Mew was a lie. Anyway, whatever. Kept me from finding Mew.
Oh, Linda got 150. Okay, good to know.
She
Oh,
cheated.
All right, Hannah, you got some pretty good, awesome, old school news.
Yes, I do. Okay. How many of you frequented homestarrunner.com in your youth?
Hell
When it
yes.
actually played, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
Well, guess what? Homestar 1.0's back! Well, kind of. They did update like a few days ago. And it was actually kind of awesome because it just was awesome because it was Homestar Runner. And it did have Strong Bad as well. Basically,
I love Strong Bad.
yeah, Strong Bad came back.
The email. What? The email.
Basically, Homestar comes back and he's like, wow, we've been kind of quietly. Let's go to our most popular segment, which was the one where you'd like doodle the hair on Homestar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going through the gallery and he's laughing, and then Strong Bad comes out and he gets angry and he's like, no, the emails were better. And they do a duet of, let's see, what was it? Oh yeah, Windows 98. They brought that back. Awesome. And then at the end they had like a cute little thing during the credits. And it was, you know, if you want to stay, or, hey, this was fun, we should do this again sometime. What do you think? Oh yeah, maybe another 3 years, maybe 5, who knows, 50?
I'm actually glad they brought it back, but man, it just means they're not going to do it anymore. They just, whatever. I know our friend Chaka, she posted like from her Twitter, Homestar Runner has been updated. This is not a drill. Which is pretty awesome, so yeah.
I got really excited because
like Strong Bad.
I wish that he would update the emails more. My sister and I used to sit there for hours just watching the emails.
Anyway, I could do that all night. Anyway, system.
What about you, Matt?
What?
Huh? What is he
Did you
doing?
watch Homestar a lot?
Why do you
Oh
sound
yeah, I
flustered?
did. I already said I did. Yeah, like I loved it. It was hilarious. I loved whenever he answered all the emails. So, yeah, I mean, I stopped watching after a while though, just because I mean, life took its course. But I loved it.
Did anyone else watch Tinker Squad? No.
The
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Well.
Anyway.
Moving on.
Yeah, Jason,
you got a story.
you got some
Okay,
Transformers.
so of course it's Transformers news, so I got to give it to you. Anyway, Transformers Universe is coming soon. They are in the beta testing, and there's been some similarities. People have been comparing it to World of Warcraft Battlegrounds. And honestly, from a WoW player and somebody that tried out the beta, yeah, it's totally like World of Warcraft Battlegrounds. Oh, I'm sorry. And the makers actually went out and said it's more like League of Legends, but either way, it's still you're kind of borrowing heavily, very heavily from another license out there. However, from what I've played, the game seems a lot of fun. The beta looks great. If you can get into the beta, go ahead and try it. Basically, in the Battleground style, you're going to be in charge of a squad, about 10 Transformers, and they are making original characters for this game as well. Anyway, I forget when Transformer Universe comes out now. I had it in my head, but I'll post it in the link below. You can actually check out some of the videos from the Battlegrounds and actually see the similarities in WoW. So anyway, Matt, I believe it's over to you.
Well, yeah. Just before we get there,
What?
I mean, Transformers and WoW. That's
Well,
That's
it is an
interesting.
online role-playing game.
Yeah.
So they needed something to go off of, and you know,
So-
why not with World of Warcraft? You know.
So would that be like the new World of Warcraft, but I don't know, better?
I don't know. I honestly, as a Transformers fan and a gamer, I'm not sure how long this game is going to go. Is Star Trek Online still going?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still going. It still has the same problems that it did on day one. It's still there.
Okay. Well, what do we got next? You got something from Square Enix.
Yes, Square Enix. I'm a huge fan of Square Enix, or I guess I was growing up back when it was Squaresoft. But Square Enix has recently come out and said that they're actually rethinking their business model. Because recently, if you haven't noticed, Square Enix has kind of sucked lately as far as anything that they've produced.
Unless it's Final Fantasy.
Unless it's Final Fantasy 13,
Returns.
I wasn't a fan.
I didn't.
Wasn't a fan of that whole
I'm
thing.
not a big fan of Lightning Returns because they upped her cup size. I don't know why that's.
Right. I mean, just the whole like storyline of Final Fantasy 13, I just wasn't a huge fan of. So, like, they kept making sequels, and it's just like, nah, just kill it, let it go, and just move on. But either way, to each his own. But either way, they've actually said that their previous business model was to kind of make games for a global audience. And, that was kind of what was screwing them up, and they realized that after their latest game, Bravely Default, came out, which is the game right above here. It came out in Japan and actually sold a lot of money, and it made the company a lot of money, and it made them think to themselves, you know what, we kind of lost our way. So Yasuka Matsuda, the president of Square Enix, actually came out and said he had a bunch of pretty good quotes. Now I've got Cora disease. It said not only did they end up being games that weren't for the Japanese, but they ended up being incomplete titles that weren't even fit for a global audience. So it actually just made them start like forgetting who they were actually supposed to be serving. So now they've realized the errors of their ways. They're going to go back and they're actually going to try and make more high-quality games, which is huge news because, I mean, they came out with games like Infinite Undiscovery, which was supposedly going to be really good but ended up sucking really bad. And then they had The Last Remnant, which I was really excited for. But then, if any of you ever played that game, it was a game where basically you had no control over anything. And you basically went and did wars and you couldn't control anything. You couldn't control what you did, anything. It was horrible. It was random. It sucked. So they're coming out with new games. They're coming out with Final Fantasy XIV. I think it's a Realm Reborn is what it is, and it's actually going to be an MMORPG.
I think they've already come out with that, actually. No?
Oh, it said on the article that it was coming out.
Oh.
But either way, yeah. So that one's supposed to be their big cash cow coming out pretty soon. And yeah, that should be pretty good. I don't know. I never got into the Final Fantasy role-playing games though.
I did. I got into 7 because that was the first one I played, of course.
Right.
And then
Well, no, I'm talking about the online ones.
Oh,
I
the
think
online ones?
11 was the only online one that they had. So.
Oh, I never played 11, but I did actually play a little bit of 14 for the beta. My friend had the beta and he let me make an account and play on it. It was actually really fun.
Is it?
Yeah, the characters are really customizable.
Oh, great.
Like, that was fantastic. You can have, like, they have, I think it's only 4 races. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, like, to choose colors, they just give you, like, the Photoshop color spectrum and just let you pick.
Nice.
And that's for hair, eyes, skin, tattoos. And then they have a really good chart for build, bust size, hips, everything. Everything. It's fantastic as far as customization goes. And then the gameplay is actually really smooth. The graphics are really good, even for an MMO.
Yeah.
They're really high quality. They're Final Fantasy level.
Right.
And
I think what's unfortunate, though, is that it's all online. It's all PC. I kind of wish that it would be more console as well.
Well, he was playing it on his console.
Was he?
Yeah, I think you can actually, if you have a PS4 or PS3,
I'm buying one.
you can use it on your console. I don't know how he rigged that. He's also very techie. He could have just made something.
Hey, if he makes it and he sells it to me, I will buy the hell out of it. But, yeah, so expect good quality products out of Square Enix coming soon. And, Mr. President, we salute you. All right. Cora, what you got?
I have the best thing ever.
Do you?
Yes. It's not as awesome as Homestar Runner. Actually, no, it actually is better because it involves the Queen of England. Let's see. A lovely couple as a joke.
Oh, the Queen.
Their names are John and Frances Canning.
Canning.
Yep. They've recently been married, and as a joke, they sent an invite to the Queen of England. They did not think she was going to respond. But they were pleasantly surprised when she showed up to their wedding. She and her husband both showed up to the wedding and wished the couple a happy marriage and a good life.
Wow. I want to see how that would go. Like, let me just follow me real quick.
I was playing around the chat room.
Hello there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the wedding. I'm here. Hello, hello, hello. All right, have a good wedding. See you later. Like, is that how long she stayed? Like, what did
No,
she do?
she actually stayed for the wedding.
Wow. That's
Like,
awesome.
it was incredible. And
That is freaking
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
The Queen of England showed up to my wedding.
let's be honest.
Will you stop that?
Okay, but
what?
let's be honest for a second. What really did she have going on that day?
Nothing.
I mean, it's not like she had a whole lot of litigation she had to go through or anything like that.
She's queen.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, she gets paid to be queen. She has nothing else that she has to do. So, hell, why not go to a wedding? I'm just saying.
And
She's Bill Murraying it.
She is Bill Murray.
Just showing up in random places.
the Queen of England is now Bill Murray. The Queen of England is
She would never
Britain's
be
Bill
this
Murray.
What if the Queen of England's PR director is Bill Murray?
Oh, okay, you're going too far now.
No, I just blew your mind.
No, you didn't.
I blew her mind.
Not really.
I
You
want to
did.
put the same person.
You did. I
Anyway.
saw it. You had to look. Moving on.
Anyways, what do you got for us, Jason?
I got more science because. Okay, let me step to the side because I got to actually read off this. Who wants to see an infrared?
Me.
I do too.
That'd be awesome.
It is a number of applications that are going into this, but they are making contact lenses with infrared vision. Apparently, they're made of an ultra-thin graphene material. Yeah, I just wanted to use that picture because, you know, it's
Hey, Vin Diesel.
and I can see in the dark.
I like
Anyway,
to see things
they have
in the
devised a way to
dark.
capture the infrared spectrum without
Like
requiring
women.
the cooling that makes infrared goggles so cumbersome. The method uses a trendy nanomaterial graphene and works on a device smaller than a pinky nail.
Damn.
Of course, graphene is a single atom thick carbon lattice, but you can see through the infrared spectrum in it. Now they just figured, you know, why don't we try to overlay this into some contact lenses? So the trouble with it is, and this is from here, it isn't sensitive enough to produce an electrical signal that would feed into goggles, so they had to go smaller, hence contact lenses. So a quote from what's his name? Sorry. Zhao Zong, who devised this way, the challenge for the current generation of graphene-based detectors is that their sensitivity is typically very poor. It's 100 to 1,000 times lower than what a commercial device would require. So they've turned away from conventional methods of power and to the little device that's about the size of a fingernail. In a paper that they just published, they measured how the light-induced electrical charges on a top layer of graphene affected a current running through the bottom layer of the material. So yes, you're also putting something in your eye that actually has an electrical current going through it. However, you'll be able to see in the dark, whatever. Anyway,
As long as they got my prescription, I don't care.
but the ultra-thin graphene sandwich detects the troublesome mid-infrared spectrum nearly as well as the existing goggles. So, yeah. And it's not as bulky. So, the science is here. And I'm sorry. Come on.
That is
Infrared contact lenses.
I want 50.
I love
Why
science.
would you need 50?
Well, you know, because you can't wear the same contacts all the time.
Dude, I mean,
What, 50?
Yes.
in the military we had
25 for
NVGs
each eye.
and, you know,
Seems
infrared
like an
equipment.
arbitrary number.
Nope.
But
Perfect
honestly,
number.
in the military, the NVGs and infrared equipment we used were so effing bulky and just huge, and battery sources and everything. And now it's on a contact lens. That amazes me.
I'm just
sorry.
waiting for you to have a seizure of saying, the science!
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sure?
That was a couple of brain cells, but no less than I lose drinking.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Anyway, so let's go on to
real quick. I'm just going to say this real quick, just the news story. It's just more of an announcement. Just going to move on, and then we got more discussion that
We
we
do.
got to go
Yeah,
to.
we gotta
so
get to
got to
this.
hurry up. Toby Cabell is going to play Dr. Doom in the new Fantastic Four movie, which
Little
further explains that the new Fantastic Four is going younger and younger and younger and younger and younger. Moving on, discussion
All right.
time.
We've got some awesome discussion for you guys today because we got some good movies coming out. Well,
Can
we
we
got
s-
two good movies.
Can we start with that one horrible trailer that we watched before, and I ain't talking Turtles. Let's just talk about it. Sorry.
You've got
Okay.
two people who are against you on this one.
Dude, I just find it
I
weird
can-
whenever they
okay.
put hair on The Rock. I'm sorry.
Okay, I can see why you probably wouldn't like it, and I can see why you like it because I liked it, and there were parts about it I'm a little iffy on. I'm gonna wait for the movie.
I feel like we need to have an episode of Served right now.
Next week. Next week it's on. Oh, no, we're doing something else next
No, we got something else.
week. Okay.
Well, okay, let's talk about Hercules for a second. The Rock is Hercules. I think that's a weird choice just due to the fact that he's Samoan, but whatever. That's neither here nor there.
Racist.
But no, I mean, he's not Greek.
I'm just
whatever. But
Oh, wait a minute. That's what it boils down to. He's not Greek. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It all makes sense now. The veil is lifted.
I can see clearly now.
He ain't Greek. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay, so the Hercules movie. it's basically what I loved about it was the fact that I actually grew up reading and studying mythology for years, and I grew up watching these Hercules movies and was so disappointed by all of them because none of them actually followed the written text. Now, this movie looks so awesome, so amazing, because it shows him going through the trials. They show him fighting the lion, they show him fighting the Hydra, they show him fighting Cerberus, and they also show him fighting the boar, amongst all kinds of other trials that he has to go through. And to me, I mean, yes, The Rock, it's, he's Samoan, he's got hair, whatever. I'm really excited about this movie, even though that it was a little cheesy. It goes, I am Hercules! But whatever. I'm really excited for this movie. I really just can't wait for that movie to come out.
I will give you this. I do like the accuracy to it as in following the trials. I do dig that. Okay, and I really haven't seen enough to judge it on, except for the whole Rock with hair, Scorpion.
I don't know. I think Rock looked pretty good as Hercules.
I think he looked different than Scorpion King, because Scorpion King he had more of an Egyptian look, and this one he actually does kind of have an ancient Greek look.
So,
which, by the way, did you actually see what his diet was to get all bulked up and everything?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Dude's jacked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Then did you see what his cheat day was? After he finished
oh my God.
Yes. He had like 3 stacks of pancakes and like pizzas and burgers.
He had double dough pizzas, which are probably the most calorie-inducing pizza you can find out in California.
Hey, but here's the thing. That man deserved it.
Yeah.
After what? He did how many days? Like 100 and something days?
Yeah. Yeah.
Eating clean? Anyway, whatever. Give me a burger.
Can't do it. Yeah, burgers. Burgers.
All right,
pizza.
so, okay.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about a terrible movie. I'm sorry, everyone.
We
don't know it's terrible.
Okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All right, let me go ahead and take this one off. So, okay. We did see a teaser for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a couple weeks ago, and we're kind of been just taking it in, I guess. And there's things I don't like about the film. Of course, a lot of traditionalists for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles don't like it either. The one thing that creeps me out is the lips on the turtles.
That is creepy and inaccurate for turtles because turtles don't have lips, they have beaks, if anyone.
However, a user on Reddit decided to fix this just a little bit. So,
Thank God.
So let's take a look at that real quick. Anyway, so as you can see,
Dude, that looks so much better.
They took the lips off and just gave them beaks, like turtles should have.
It actually looks a lot better.
There's actually another one in there of Leonardo. It kind of shows a progression of it right there. So you got how the flat, the creepy lips. And I understand the noses, turtles do have those slits there, but
some do.
But they look very unfriendly here, and that just looks a little bit more appealing. Even this hulking brute of a turtle looks better with that beak. What, guys?
Agreed.
I agree that when I saw their faces, I was a little thrown off. It was a little weird, because, and plus, I love Michelangelo. Michelangelo is always my favorite one.
Wait a minute. Did they have teeth?
Yes.
But
yes,
some turtles have teeth.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I loved Michelangelo, and the fact that they showed at the end of it Michelangelo, that got me really excited. But then I saw the face, and then I heard him talk, and then I got less excited.
We did get the news that Johnny Knoxville is voicing Leonardo, which I actually said this on my Facebook. I said, isn't it amazing that the cast of the TMNT cartoon is bigger than the voice cast of the movie? And now they screwed it up by putting Johnny Knoxville in there. Which I'll still put a couple of them over Johnny Knoxville, I will.
Yeah,
so,
I mean...
Watch the cartoon.
I think it's going to be a decent movie. I think it's going to be kind of like how Transformers was. When Transformers first came out, the fact that you've got a feature-length film that looks like it should be, like realistically how the Turtles should be. But ultimately, it's Megan Fox in there too. And,
yeah, we
they're going to change the mythology. You kind of saw in the previews how they genetically engineered these heroes, which could mean any multitude of things. It could mean that, hey, this was still an accident, and this did fall into the sewer, and they did become mutant turtles. Or it could mean that, they had genetically engineered.
So we don't know anything.
We don't know anything.
But we'll hang in there, I guess, for a little
I'll
bit.
still go see it in theaters.
I'll still go see it, but I'm very iffy about it. I grew up on this. It's close to my heart.
So can we give a quick, because we've been having to step on eggshells around here because both Matt and I have seen Captain America 2. Can we just give like a quick spoiler-free review of...
Yes!
Okay.
All right.
Keeping it brief. I will go ahead.
Boys, before you start, you can come to the middle camera. I'm just going to sink down. Since I have not seen it.
It's so good!
It was so good!
And then kill.
Oh my god.
Oh, and then
Boom, boom, boom.
boom.
Like,
oh, the arm, and then
no. I won.
Oh,
And then it's like,
and then Scarlett Johansson, you know, and pow, and you know, yeah. And then yes, and then.
So I stepped out of frame to have an intelligent conversation.
oh my god, it was so
So
good.
yeah, go see Captain America 2.
Yes, absolutely.
Good job,
Fantastic.
Siskel.
Yes. Ebert. Okay.
She stepped off.
Get out of my house.
Okay.
No, but one thing we do need to tell you though is stay after for the credits. There
Of
are actually
course.
2 scenes. They have 2 scenes. So stay one for the middle, and then there's one at the very end. So stay.
We need to
for
start reviewing movies like that more often.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Days of Future Past, we will be doing this again, most likely. So, yeah. Cora, what do we got next?
Next, we have a very important interview, and I'm going to screw up the name because I am terrible.
Say it.
Yes. Who?
Okay.
Wait. No. I remember it. Steve Cardonis.
Close.
Very
Oh.
close.
Steve Cardenas.
Cardenas. Ah. We have an interview with Steve Cardenas while they cool their little fanboy heart.
It was amazing.
Help me.
Go watch this movie.
Hey guys, Jason the X from Animation Celebrations. It's my pleasure to talk to Mr. Steve Cardenas. Steve, how you doing, man?
How are you?
Great job on the martial arts demonstration earlier, and thanks for teaching my son a little something.
Oh
I
yeah,
appreciate
sure,
that.
yeah. Look, we had fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a good turnout too.
And you've been actually, you started your own martial arts school out in Los Angeles, right?
Yes, it's called Force Balance Jiu-Jitsu, and we teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there.
How long has the school been operating?
That particular school had opened for about 2.5 years.
Wow. Okay. So, since being, you've been, let's just face it. This right here has made you a hero to many people. What is it like that people are still, they still come up to you? We saw people come up to your table. They were so excited to meet you, just shake your hand, take pictures with you. What is it like?
It's really rewarding, you know. I mean, it's just nice to know that, you know, like you've had such an effect or an influence on people, you know, even years later, you know. And I get it because, you know, I'm a fan of the Karate Kid, you know, and I grew up watching the Karate Kid my whole life, and I was bullied as a kid, and I wanted to learn martial arts so bad so I wouldn't get bullied anymore, and I really related to Ralph Macchio's character, you know, and eventually, actually, just this year, I got to meet Ralph Macchio at another convention, and I went up and I told him, I'm like, you're the inspiration for me getting into martial arts and getting on Power Rangers and all this stuff like that, and, you know, he was really touched by it, which I think he was anyway. He was cool about it, and so I get it. When people come up to me, I understand, you know, because I can relate fully.
And you totally still, you still put the costume on, you come out, take pictures with people,
Mhm.
of course, doing martial arts demonstrations with them. It's just, everyone has always good things to say about you, too. That's
Oh,
the thing
thanks.
I was really excited about meeting you for. Well, so pretty much you just go around doing this a lot of weekends out of the year, I take it?
Yeah, I did quite a few weekends out of the year. You know, maybe like every other weekend almost, I'm out doing a show, and then you know, going out and meeting the fans and connecting with the people and whatnot, and just traveling around. It's a lot of fun, actually. It really is good connecting with all the fans because they're so gracious, they're so cool, and you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in existence at all, or neither would Power Rangers at all. So
That's
they kept
actually
it going.
Still out there connecting with everybody, and as a fan also. Thank you very much.
Thank
for it.
you. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Cardenas.
Whoa. Yeah, my frames. All people in my frames.
We totally cheat when we're off camera.
We really
Yeah. Yeah. We're not just standing here the whole time. Anyways, we went to, or well, they got to. I had to work. Went
Shame.
to a fantastic convention this weekend called Animation Celebration. How was that, guys?
do. Oh, man. Why don't you go ahead?
I think that started off with a good. We're setting up at the table, and the gentleman that was just in the interview, Steve Cardenas, comes up to our table and he's like, "Hey, are you guys making announcements?" Because we had our speakers and everything there. And at first I'm like, "Yes, we're making announcements." And I kind of look at him like, "I wonder who this is." And then I like, it's Steve Cardenas. And our friend Mike and Eric from Cinlinks were there, and they all got to see me kind of have a serious geek moment. I did.
Yes, you
I
did.
Because I think I actually went, "You're Steve Cardenas!"
Well, you know what was cool, actually, was that he kept hanging around us a lot.
The guy's nice. The guy
He
is
really
super
is.
nice.
Yeah, he kept. Okay, so I actually became the voice of Animation Celebration.
That was awesome, by the way.
Inadvertently, I didn't realize that I was going to, and then all of a sudden, the one of the co-creators came up to me and he said, "Hey, here's the thing. Here's a list of all these things that I need you to I need you to talk about. Can you make these announcements every like 5 or 10 minutes?" And I was like, "Okay." So I just sat there and was just like saying different stuff.
And then what did you find on the schedule?
Oh, yeah, and then I noticed, hey, we have a panel at 6.
And I just go, what? We have a panel?
Yeah, nobody knew at all. So it was really funny. And after a while, like, because you guys were out, y'all were filming different things.
Yeah.
After a while, I just stayed up there, just doing my announcements. I just had fun with it, man.
And I think the best thing, though, I mean, on top of the con, and thanks to everybody that came to the panel, especially the girls that said they were going to write fanfic about me.
Oh, fantastic. Jason.
However,
Triple
the
X.
best thing was Kevin Conroy, who was over at our table. My son was actually there. He was handing out cards and of our logo and everything. And he's looking at Kevin Conroy. I'm like, do you know who this is, son? Oh, you don't know who this is? I look at Mr. Conroy. I say, Mr. Conroy, he doesn't know who you are. Would you mind telling him? And in the Batman voice, he just goes, Eddie, I need your help getting the Batcave. And Eddie's eyes just went. You can
So
see
awesome.
his mind blow. Which, by the way, Kevin Conroy is a super awesome guy. Our own Nazni Bowles got to interview him, and she did an awesome job. There was one other thing, though. Matt, I need you to step over to the camera.
I'm going to be replacing myself with Matt. Or actually, no, I'm going to
No, I
stand
want you to
right
stay here because I
Okay.
want everybody to see. Hold on, I want to show it to everybody. This is Matt's Arkham City game, signed by Mr. Kevin Conroy.
Oh my God.
Please don't cry.
Oh my God, that is amazing. Oh, come here. Oh, that was. I'm getting a little misty eyed. That's freaking awesome. Oh my God, that is. So, yeah, you'll get a high five too.
And he did that free of charge because he was just that nice of a guy.
Oh my
Seriously,
God.
the guy is so cool, and you're gonna get to see that a little bit of that interview. But yeah,
Well,
look at him. He's so happy now.
Amazing. I'm never like. This is just gonna be a prominent role. Like I'm probably framing.
You thought
this
we
game.
forgot about it, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
You forgot
Nobody
about
said anything about it. I was like,
Yep.
all right, well, whatever. And if it didn't happen, it didn't happen because I was there on Saturday and he was gone by the time I could go get it in like autographed and.
He's so happy now.
That is.
Okay, so Animation Celebration was awesome. We do have GeekyCon this weekend. McKinney, I'm going to put some information down there for that. We were going to get a table for this, but a lot of the cast are going to be gone, and I'm going to need to cover this video-wise. So we're going to skip the table. However, our own Nazi Bowles is listed as a guest there, which is why she's not on the show tonight. We'll get to see her next week.
right.
But Animation Celebration was great. I can't wait for them to do it again.
Yeah, it was a blast. Sorry I won't be able to make it to
And our
GeekyCon
band-
because
our
I'm
band-
going to be at WrestleMania.
That's right. I need to give you a camera or something.
Hell yeah, you do.
So, okay, we do have, anyway, Animation Celebration, lots of fun. I can't wait to do it again. I'm loving doing these cons, but also we got North Texas Comic Book Show coming up real soon. I'll put information for that. We're going to start pushing that heavy, too. So, anyway.
all
How's
right.
this lady?
Lady.
Pretty lady.
Pretty lady. Oh, pretty lady. Okay, sorry. We are now going to take another short break while you
Well, it's
guys...
going to be a big break.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. We're going to take a long break while you guys get to watch Nazni Bowles interview Kevin Conroy.
Batman.
Hey guys, it's Nazni here with the one and only Kevin Conroy. I don't think I need to introduce what he's done, so yeah, just you know. So Kevin,
Good to be
thank
here.
you for agreeing to let us interview.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, it's an honor for me to interview you. First of all, because clearly you guys know what I do all the time and how I fangirl. So I wanted to ask you. I know you're here as the Batman guest for the Animation Celebration, but you also touched in your panels on your acting background. You've been acting for several years before you got into voice acting.
I started acting when I was 17, and I went to Juilliard when I was 17 and studied under John Houseman and worked for Joe Papp at the Public Theater in New York. Did a lot of Shakespeare, the Greeks, classics, and that evolved into Broadway, off-Broadway, and then eventually TV. Doing voice work, I started doing commercial voiceovers when I was doing theater as a way to supplement my income because, you know, theater feeds you. So I love being on the stage, but it just gets harder and harder to make it happen because it's financially so hard to do.
Yeah.
You know.
You see less and less stage plays being produced. It's more people are trying to go towards film and TV.
Yeah. No, it's because it's just the finances of it don't make a lot of sense anymore.
It's
But,
unfortunate because I love stage.
Oh, there's nothing
I love
like it.
going to watch plays all the time.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. And I did Midsummer Night's Dream in the Park in New York for Joe Papp. And then I did a production of Hamlet for him. I played Laertes in that. And I did Much Ado About Nothing for Jack O'Brien at the Old Globe. And I've done 2 Lears. One Lear at the Old Globe and the other at the Acting Company for John Houseman. So I've done a lot of classics. And that you really, if you can do that, you can do anything. It's so rigorous to pull that off that then doing contemporary plays is really, you know, kind of a walk in the park.
Yeah.
It just, that's where you sort of hone your craft, I think, is in the classics.
There's a lot of acting on every emotional scale on the range. It's that you have to hit on when you do Shakespearean acting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And your pacing and your timing and everything.
Yeah, and then you're working in, you know, iambic pentameter. You got to, you know, break the scripts down. There's a lot of homework that goes into those. And so, you know, that was those were great training years. The last play I did was for Arthur Miller just before he died. I did The Last Yankee off Broadway.
Oh, wow.
I worked with Arthur. I loved doing that. It was great.
He's a great playwright.
Oh.
He's fantastic. He was.
Incredible. Incredible.
So out of your roles in the classics, which one has stuck with you the most over the years, at the back of your head?
Well, the play that I was proudest of, I guess, well, there have been a couple. I did a play called Eastern Standard on Broadway. It was Richard Greenberg's first play. And I played opposite Patricia Clarkson, who played my sister. And it was a very emotional performance. I was very proud of that. I loved doing that. It's something I really look forward to every night. But in the classics, I guess, I did a cycle at the Hartford Stage called The Greeks, which was first performed by the Royal Shakespeare Company in London. And what it was a 9-play cycle of the whole Oresteia
Wow.
legend, starting with Iphigenia at Aulis and ending with Iphigenia at Taurus, and going through Clytemnestra and Agamemnon and Orestes and Menelaus and everything. Excuse me. And I played Orestes in that, so I was the unifying theme throughout. And it was a 2-play cycle, so it was over 2 nights. And on Sundays we do marathons of it. I was really proud of that. I was very proud of that. It was a great experience.
That sounds like a lot of work had to go into it to get.
It was a lot of work, but you know, I've been lucky. I've had a number of plays that I've been really proud of.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
great. Not many people can say that.
No, they can't. No, I know I'm lucky. I know.
And it sounds like you really have had a great career on stage and on TV.
I've been fortunate. You know, you have a lot of downtime too. Actors always do, but I've been lucky to have had a lot of projects to work on.
And I know, at least in my circle of friends and even the extended circles, you're a household name for us.
Oh wow, that's great. Thank
Even
you.
my mom, she's not really into comics as much, but she's like, Kevin Conroy's going to be here? Maybe I should go. And I'm like, you should. So yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated. It's fun to be enraptured with you talking about your stage career, because you did, which one was it, in Midsummer Night's Dream? Lysander?
Yes.
Yes. I did like a very, very small production when I was in middle school. I was Titania.
Oh, great
So I was like,
role.
yay. So hearing you talk about your Midsummer Nights in the panel it was great. Hearing you talk about that and the moment you mentioned where I guess you said you came off of the stage and there's the moon.
Oh, it's such a great moment because the Shakespeare in the Park in New York is in Central Park.
That's fantastic.
And so you're performing, you know, under the night sky, And the midsummer production we did, the set was a park. They brought trees onto the stage. They brought grass onto the stage, and it was they created a sort of Elizabethan garden in the theater. So it was like being in a forest. It was absolutely
That's
beautiful. It was
fantastic.
so beautiful. The lights were in the trees. It was incredible. And I came off of stage one night, and I was standing looking. There's a lagoon in back of the Delacorte Theater in Central Park, and the moon was coming up over the east side of Manhattan, and I just stood there looking at the moonlight on the water and looking the moon up, and I said to the actress, Deborah Rush, that I was working with, I said, this is a dream come true. I'm living a dream. And it sort of sunk in. You know, there are those moments in your life when you get so busy striving
Yes.
that when you finally arrive there, sometimes you don't realize you're there. You're still
just-
busy striving, you know
It
what I
just
mean?
smacks you in the face one day. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
look, you're here where you wanted to be.
Exactly. And I said, this was a dream. This is a dream come true. She said, yes, it is. We're lucky. Dreams come true sometimes.
Well, I'm happy that you got so many moments like that in your career so far.
Thank you.
And of course, now I have to segue into one of my favorite topics, is Batman the Animated Series. I know I've read online before that it's sort of like a radio play kind of thing when you guys recorded that, which is very different from typical recordings.
Yeah, usually with most Hollywood recording, they like to get each recording completely clean in a sound booth because that makes the post-production much easier and cleaner, and the editing easier. Warner Brothers very wisely likes to get everyone in a big room together because that way you get the effect of a live performance with actors working off of each other, and you're always only as good as the other people you're working with. The better the actors are around you, the better you are.
Definitely. It's
Because
not a
you're
one-person
feeding
show.
each other. Yeah, you're feeding each other, and you're working off each other. So, especially with people like Mark. Mark and I work so well together. Mark Hamill. He's an incredibly talented guy, and he's very easy to work with, and we have a lot of fun. But the whole cast, Arlene Sorkin is Harley Quinn, and everybody works really. They're all generous actors. They all give to each other. So yeah, Warner likes to get everyone in a room together. The only difficulty is that you have to be aware that you can't, it is going to have to be edited. So there can be no bleeding over each other's lines. You can't step on each other's lines. You're tempted to jump on the next line. You can't. You have to take a breath between each line.
Oh.
So there is a separation.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of artificiality that's introduced. But, once you establish that, once you get used to that, it doesn't feel so artificial anymore. It just becomes like a breath. Everyone takes a breath before their line. And that just becomes part of the dramatic action, But that has really helped the performances for all the shows that I've done for them. I've done 4 different shows for them now.
Yeah, the Justice League, Batman Beyond, and I watched all the DC animated movies and shows. I was eating them all up.
Yeah.
So, coming from your acting background on stage and for TV, was it hard to get into? I know you auditioned for the role of Batman. Was it hard to go from that to auditioning to a cartoon character, essentially, or an iconic comic character?
It is. Well, actually, I didn't have a lot of background in Batman. The only thing I knew about was the Adam West series from the 70s, or late 60s, which they said, no, this is nothing like that. This is not a. That was very broad
The
farce.
camp fest.
It was a campy farce. This was going to be a very dark, noir, serious drama. So I had to kind of come up to speed on The Dark Knight, The Legend of the Dark Knight, and all that. I didn't have a lot of background in it. I really came at it as an actor. And it was just a very lucky meeting of actor and role that it fit the way that it did. And it worked so well for both me and the writers and the producers for so long. It is different than it is different than working on stage in that you only have your voice to tell the story. Always in acting on camera or on the stage, you have your whole body to tell the story. You have your face to tell the story. You don't have to rely entirely on your voice. with animation, you only have your voice to tell the story. So you have to goose it a little bit. You have to caress it a little bit, but you can't so much so that it becomes cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because then it sounds artificial. It's got to be genuine, but it has to be a little bit more than what you do
sell
on
it
camera
properly.
to create the picture for the audience completely. You know what I mean?
You all did a fantastic job. I mean, those characters, especially, you know, Batman, Harley, the Joker, Penguin, all of them, they really do. It's more than just watching a cartoon. It's watching the characters like come to life because
Thank
of
you.
the voice acting that you guys
Well, I
did.
think that's why it resonates with the audience still so much. I mean, people are really devoted followers of all those characters, and I think it's because they heard the sincerity that was going into those performances. People took it very seriously.
I mean, you gave life to the character.
Everyone who worked on the show was really committed to doing it the right way. Not that that isn't true of all shows,
Yeah.
but this was a unique experience for everybody. Everybody was really invested in it, and invested in it being done right.
Well, it was done perfectly,
Thank
in
you.
my opinion.
Thank you so much.
Millions of others, I'm sure.
Thank you.
I mean, I know people have been telling you this all weekend, but I mean, you are Batman to me, and my family, everybody. You are
Let's keep it
the
that way.
Batman. It's like whenever anyone suggests like any DC animated movie, it's like, well, who's gonna be Batman? If it's not Kevin Conroy, I don't want to see it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely Batman the Animated Series is something that I think will definitely carry on for. It's been 22, 23 years, like you said. It'll keep going for decades and
I
decades.
hope they think of some new way to incarnate it again. It would be great.
I'm
Wouldn't
sure
it be
everyone
great?
would love that.
I know.
I mean, because I eat up all the animated movies that they put out. Like, I'm just like, okay, more, because everyone that's behind it, they're great. Andrea Romano, yes, Andrea Romano.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
They stopped making them not because the audience grew disinterested or the studio was disinterested. Everyone wanted more. It was really the writers, kind of. Bruce Timm, kind of. He didn't want to get to the point where he was stretching it so thin, desperate to come up with story ideas. He kind of ran out of ideas, and he didn't want it to become something less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always hope that he might be able to, regenerate and come up with some new ideas and go back and do more, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, I would definitely be down to watch anything
Cool.
like that.
Cool.
So, yeah, was it any different doing the voice acting for the animated series versus the games that you've been in lately? Arkham Origins, City. Well, you weren't in Origins. That was
No,
someone
no.
else. It was City, Asylum, and the new one coming out.
The new one is Knight.
Arkham Knights,
Arkham
yeah.
Knight. It's completely different. The process, the voice is the same. The production of the voice is the same, but the process of working on it is completely different because for that you do have to be alone in a booth because the game, there are thousands and literally thousands of lines.
They really are. 'Cause I play games regularly, and
They go
there's
on-
different tones and
Yeah, they can go on
inflections
forever, and depending on how you play the game, the direction it goes in, they want so many different takes of each line, and so many different versions of each take, and then you're alone in there for 4-hour blocks at a time,
Wow.
and producing that sound for that period of time. It just it gets. I started losing. I just came from a week of doing it in L.A. and we had to break a half hour early one day because my voice was just going. They said your voice is just ragging.
When you have to be doing that 4 hours straight for so many days in a row.
And also you kind of forget how to speak English after a while. It's like just ridiculous sounds start coming out of your mouth. So yeah, it's and you've got to be your own motivation. You've got to be your own juice. You're alone in there, and
You
you've
don't
just
have
got
the other actors to play
No,
off
you
of?
have no one to play off of, and you're saying these lines in a complete vacuum, and they're just describing to you what the situation is, and you're using your actors. It's all up to the actor's imagination. It's much, 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 much harder to do the
It sounds
recording for the
like
game.
it.
It is. It's a
Oh.
hard job.
Sounds like it's emotionally taxing
And
as
it's
well.
emotionally exhausting. And by the time I get out of there, all I want to do is crash. It's it's rewarding only in that when I look at the game at the end, it looks so amazing, and I'm so proud to have been a part of
games
it.
are fantastic.
They're fantastic.
Like, I can play
and
them
they
over
look
and over.
incredible, and they sound great, and they're great. And I'm so proud to have been a part of them. But the actual process of making them, I hate to disappoint anyone because it's just backbreaking.
Wow.
It's hard. But I'm not complaining. I'm
Yeah,
happy
no.
to do it.
We're happy that you do it. We're thrilled. Well, I guess that's all I have for you, or else I'll start
Great.
rambling about Batman all day
No,
long.
no.
So.
Thank you. This was great.
Yeah, it was a
great
great
talking to
pleasure
you.
to interview you and
Thank
learn
you.
about your background.
Good
in
meeting you.
Shakespeare.
Take care.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Come on, guys.
And to Nazni Bowles. And Nazni, great job on the
Great job, man.
Fantastic job, yeah.
See, can I just share something? Because we were all very cool, and we were like, thank you, Mr. Scott. Thank you for signing the video game. Thank you. It's so nice to meet you. And as soon as he leaves the room and that door goes click, I turn around and Des is just, and Nazni is just doing circles. She's just spinning in a 360 going, and I'm sitting there like, anyway, super nice guy.
I was even saying during the interview that it seemed like even Kevin Conroy enjoyed the interview as well.
Yeah.
He's very personal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Mr. Conroy, for interviewing with us. I'm going to link that to his Twitter, by the way.
Oh, you should.
Do it. Do
Yeah.
it.
Anyway,
You
so...
should also link the scene of me freaking out.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's been our show, guys. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Thank you for joining us, especially if you live in Texas with this inclement weather. I actually checked the weather while we were having our little
We made it.
interview. We made it, but there is a bunch of red and yellow and purpley stuff coming our way, so we just barely made it. Thank
So we
you.
probably need to get out of here soon.
Okay.
You made this possible.
But thank you
But-
to everybody at Animation Celebration for, being so awesome to us. We can't wait for next year.
Yeah.
But there's cons to look forward to. We got Geeky. We got North Texas Comic Book Show coming up. Of course, we got Dallas Comic Con.
Yes, sir.
It's con season is here, y'all.
It's
Yep.
it's hitting in full force.
So that's our show for the evening, guys. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you next week.
Thank
Right here.
Check out our Facebook, check our Twitter, check out YouTube.
What is that Facebook? It's facebook.com/SCNS Live.
That's right. And the
Yes, it
YouTube
is.
page is youtube.com/UntitledSCNS.
The Untitled SCNS.
The Untitled SCNS. And actually, the videos that you saw tonight of Steve Cardenas and of Kevin Conroy are live now.
Please go watch them. Like,
And share them.
After you're done watching our show, though.
Yes, of course.
Also, let's give a shout out to Cinelinks and the Father Gamer podcast.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
because it was great
absolutely.
seeing our editor-in-chief, Jordan, this weekend. I'll be releasing that video a little bit later on, too. And
I met them for the first time.
our
They're
buddy
so cool.
Eric Gibbs and Mike, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. It was awesome seeing everybody. And then going to get wings later.
That's right. So
Yeah.
guys, check out YouTube. Go watch Captain America 2, because it's a sin if you don't. Actually, we might have a nerd confessionals about that. Go actually on our
Are we doing nerd
Facebook
confessional?
and
Nerd
tell
confessional.
us about your nerd confessionals, because we will be airing it next week with Reverend X.
That's right, brothers. Anyway,
Did you rub me? Did you just rub on me?
I did rub you.
Guys, keep on nerding.